Aloha, Stickies!
Welcome back to another super duper fun and exciting episode of the Stick with Kaji podcast. I'm Luann.
And I'm Sean.
Yeah, you can follow me on Instagram here at Luann Kaji, where I post things that I'm doing when I'm not making podcasts or videos. If you guys are new here, right, we're the parents of Ryan's World, and we moved here since last year.
And we thought in this episode, it's a great timing for us to think about how our experience was living in Hawaii for a year. So we're going to talk about pros and cons in this episode and ultimately decide at the end if you're going to move back to Houston or stay
right.
in Hawaii.
It's a very big step, right? Moving or staying. Because it's very important to us, right? Their well-being and happiness. So let's talk about it, So first, let's talk about the pros. What do you like about Hawaii so far?
Number one thing I like about Hawaii is the climate and the nature, right? The climate's so stable. I can pretty much stay outside all day long, right? And at nighttime, you feel the wind, and you don't even need the AC a lot of times. So, yeah, that part I really love. And then it's so close to ocean or mountain and waterfalls. There's so many things kids can do outside too. So, yeah, those things are the number one thing that I like about Hawaii.
Right. So to touch more on that, when we were in Texas, for example, we have a swimming pool, right? But because of the climate is so unstable, we're not able to use that pool for half of the year, right? Half of the time.
And this past couple of years, I have to repair pool pump system every single year because there is a cold front every single year. And every time that happens, water freezes up and then pump system gets messed up. So, it's really hard to manage the pool in Houston right now.
Right. But here, we've been staying here for the whole year and our pool is open 24/7, for them. And so they're able to use it even during the winter, even during the summer, the spring. They're in it constantly. So that we really appreciate. And of course, every island is different. When we say Hawaii, I'm talking about the island that we're at. And even then we have like microclimates, right? Depending on which region. But the area that we're at, the weather is really nice all year long. It doesn't rain as often. And so it's very predictable. And so, when we plan a hike or a beach outing or a picnic, 99% of the time we're able to do it. Where we stayed in Texas, we were from Houston, so it takes us an hour and a half to even get to the nearest beach, which is Galveston. It's like an all-day event, And so, yeah. Number 2, what's the second thing you like about Hawaii?
People. So, we always say, people always say people in Texas are very nice, right? They're welcoming. Everybody have a very nice community in Texas. Hawaii is a whole different level. They have very nice community, even more so than Texas, I feel like, right? Every time, I go on the street and elder person like having an issue with crossing the street, everybody stop their car and then trying to let her go across the street. Respect to the elderly is really high in Hawaii, and everybody is really like helping each other. I don't know if it's like a kind of nature of like an island, right? Everybody helping each other and a very close community, but I really like that.
I think also, right, because we're all in this little rock together, so people have to find a way to help each other. People have to find a way to get along,
Even for us too, when we first moved into Hawaii, I was struggling trying to put the heavy furniture inside my car, and then just random people came around and then and helped me out. So I really like that vibe, and it makes me want to be helpful to others too through that experience. So
yeah, the aloha spirit, Okay, pro 3.
Restaurant options.
Oh, yes.
Right. So we don't really go out and eat out that often, but when we do, there's so many different options. Japanese food, Korean food, Chinese food, steak is great too here, and seafood, right? It's a fresh caught seafood. It's great in Honolulu. So
also just the grocery store shopping, right? when we were in Houston, it would take Sean, like 35 minutes to go to the closest Japanese.
And again, it's not essential to go to the Japanese supermarket.
If you're cooking Japanese type food, or
Yeah.
I mean, you have to go there to get the ingredients that you need. If you grow up eating this particular type of food, that's the type of food that you crave and you feel like home.
Yeah, and the good thing about Japanese food is it's something that even including our kids, everybody in our family likes. I'm trying to cook Japanese food as often as possible, and yeah, having those supermarket nearby, it's only like 10 minutes drive from our house.
But even just our local supermarket around, even though it has a lot of American type of ingredients, they still have Asian stuff in it.
Good thing about it is a variety of Asian vegetables, right?
Yes.
Like bok choy, like all those vegetables that usually I have to drive to the specific supermarket. In Hawaii, you can just kind of get those vegetables anywhere, any supermarket.
Yes, and Asian snacks. We're Asian, so that's what I'm talking about. But here, I can just go to our closest drugstore, and there's a whole section of Asian snack. I can go somewhere really close and get it. The next pro that I think is that our kids just feel like they belong and they love it here,
Yeah, definitely. It's easier for them to find friends, right? And the school they go to, it's very close community, so we easily connect with the other parents, and their group of parents kind of stay connected through group chat and exchange information, and we feel a little bit more comfortable setting up a play date with them. So Ryan, Em, and Kate, all of them get to hang out more often with their friends.
I just remember, just this one instance where when Ryan was in the school in Texas, and again, right, people grow up with different culture, different food, right? So you guys ever eat these seaweed packets?
Yeah, Korean seaweed.
Yeah, so, we love these seaweed packets. Ryan and our kid, Emma and Kate, love them so much. And then one day, Ryan comes home and said, "Can you stop packing me these seaweed snacks?" And I said, "Why? You love them." I mean, again, these are kids, right? So I guess some of the kids are just never seen them before, or they haven't eat those type of snacks. So they're questioning Ryan. "Oh, what is that? What are you eating?" And I guess he was kind of embarrassed. So he went home and said, "Hey, can you just pack me other snacks like goldfish or cheese that other kids are eating?"
Yeah, and we felt like his identity was somewhat lost through that experience, right? And I experienced a similar kind of thing when I was in high school. When I just moved to US, I brought my bento box. I have rice, and then I have like a rice seasoning, like furikake on top of it. And people thought, "Oh my god, what is on top of rice? Is that like a mold?" And people kind of made fun of me at school. So ever since then, I asked my mom, "Can you pack peanut butter sandwich on a brown bag like other people?"
Oh, yeah.
In Hawaii, it's easier for us to keep that culture with Ryan, so he can continue bringing those seaweed snack that he likes at school.
Right. Yeah. And he mentioned, just the other day, he said, a lot of people eat these seaweed snacks, He's just not embarrassed about bringing these, Asian or foreign type of snacks, because here, people always say it's like a melting pot. When we meet a lot of his classmates, they're not just one specific nationality or race. A lot of them, they're mixed, so they grew up with like a Japanese mom, and then their dad is, half Portugal's and half Chinese. So it's just everybody comes from a very blended background. Even little kids, they're able to understand that these type of snacks, might be foreign to them, but they're not going to make fun of you.
Yeah, they have a high
eating
respect on each other's food culture.
Right.
And Hawaii itself has a history and culture of the Hawaiian language and the Hawaiian food, and everybody also respect that too. So
Right.
I'm glad Ryan's exposed to those new things too.
And again, right, we're only speaking from our experience, right? We don't know if that applies to all the schools in Hawaii. This is just from our personal experience that we can relate to. So
Yeah, next pro is there are so many arts throughout the island. There are so many galleries, there are so many museums showcasing Hawaiian arts, and I love the part that they have high respect in arts. We collaborate with the artists in the local areas, and they're mini paintings now in our house. It looks amazing. Even the our kids' school, they focus a lot in fine arts, dances, paintings, even paintings on the computers too, like animations or illustration. Those are the things that will be important in near future. Once the AI take over, they cannot take over art.
For now, you never know.
Oh,
You never
don't say
know.
that.
You might have heard about this generated portrait going for over $400,000 at auction back in 2018.
Oh.
So again, there's a lot more pros, For example, I love how everything is just so close to each other, right? You can go from here to the one side of the island to the other side of the island within an hour. That's nice. Lots more pros, but we said to stick with 5 pros. So now we're going to go to the 5 cons. Okay? All right. Want to give me a con?
Kind of similar to what you just said, the traffic. So because Hawaii has just very limited amount of highways, right? So from going from A to B, a few routes for you to take. So in the morning when everybody's going to work or everybody's taking kids to school, the traffic gets really bad. So sometimes when I take kids to school, it takes over 30 minutes one way. So that's a little bit tough. That's one con.
I mean, it's also living in big city because we also live in Houston at home. So, traffic is also really bad and congested in Houston too.
But I'd say still, I'd rather drive in Hawaii than Houston. Houston traffic is really bad.
True. But at least, in Hawaii, even if the traffic is bad, at least the scenery around you is really nice. You get to see really beautiful mountain, So it kind of makes you a little bit more relaxed, I think. I could be wrong, again, just speaking from personal experience, I don't hear as much honking as I do here versus when I was in Houston.
Like a lot of people let you in, like cut in.
Right, yeah.
Right? I think that's the part of the reason why there's a traffic jam. Just because everybody's so nice here, I think that's creating some traffic issue also.
Right, true. Don't like traffic? Not the place for you. So the second con that I think is just the island, right? We talked about how small this island is, And if you live here for an extended amount of time, you probably have done everything on the island, right? You went through all the beaches, you did all the hikes, right? You went through all your favorite restaurants. And then now you feel as if, okay, well, what else can I do? What new experience can I do here? And you just kind of, what people called
Island fever.
Island fever, like if you like to do road trips and travel, well, you can't do road trips here. You can't go to your neighboring states in your car, right? That's impossible.
Yeah, and the flying experience, you going across the ocean. So, even going back to Houston, it takes 7 to 8 hours.
Yeah.
So each flight going back to the mainland is a lot, right? For us, every time we take an airplane from Houston, it's a few hours of a flight. Compared to Hawaii, sometimes it's over 10 hours. So.
But if you want to travel to Japan from here, it's a lot shorter.
It's like 8 hours.
Yeah, even though we haven't traveled to Japan from here yet, but in the future, it'll save us some time. All right, what are the third con?
The third con is pricing on the products, right? Hawaii, everything is a lot more expensive than mainland, right? Compared to Houston, milk, egg, gas, all these things are a lot more expensive.
Everything, though. I mean, so I remember in Houston, I can get cherry for $2.99 a pound. Okay, here I go to my local supermarket and it's $9.99 a pound. Just blows my mind.
And milk too. I was gonna order online.
Yeah.
It was like $11.
$11
for milk.
Oh wow.
I mean, there is inflation right now going on
true,
too that
true.
increased the price compared to back then when we were living in Houston, but still.
And gas too, right? Gas just keep going up here. The last time I checked, $5.53 or somewhere close to that. So.
Yeah, and electricity bill too.
Oh yeah.
Even we have the solar panels in our house, we still paying a lot more electricity bill than back in Houston where we didn't even have a solar panel.
Right. People say it's the cost of paradise. It's really expensive to live here. And even the housing, so much more for housing here than we did in Houston. Right. And even our girls was saying,
oh, I don't have a playroom here versus the one
in Houston. And in our Houston house, we have a theater room.
Well,
and here
they do have a playroom. It's under stairs.
It's not the same.
They do have it, but yeah, it's definitely a lot smaller than the one we have in Houston.
Right. But you live here, again, a pro is you don't need a playroom because Hawaii is your playroom, they're able to spend more times outdoor.
Yeah, because I think
So-
backyard space, we have a
Yes.
lot more in this house in Hawaii compared to Houston. So yeah, just stay outside if you want to play. Oh, and we have ping pong table now.
Oh, true. Yeah, Sean just got a new ping pong table. He's like been really into ping pong. I mean, when we were in Houston, we had a ping pong table, but again, because the weather was so unpredictable, half the time we couldn't use it. But here, so far, ever since Sean got it, we've been playing all the time, even though we're not good. I'm so sorry.
No, you guys getting better. Like Ryan, MNK, and you, everybody's getting better.
Yay!
All right, con number 4. It's shipping. Because we're living in the island, it's really hard to get stuff into Hawaii. Furnitures, even like fruits too.
Yeah.
I'm assuming it's coming from mainland, so we miss fresh strawberry and grapes.
Right. I mean, there's local fruits here, but sometimes you just want to eat that specific thing,
Exactly.
Yeah.
And Amazon too. When we live in Houston, I guess they have a Amazon warehouse, so we can pretty much get any items overnight or next day shipping, right?
Or even the same day. Sometimes
same day.
sometimes I order stuff in the morning and it says it will arrive by 5 p.m. And I said, oh.
I was like, how? Yeah, that's something that we have to kind of train ourselves to. Is plan ahead and get stuff a little bit earlier.
Right. And also, but I heard, Amazon is making a warehouse here. So
Oh,
hopefully
nice.
soon. Yeah. Besides Amazon shipment, even when we were buying furniture for a house, it takes way longer than if we were on the mainland. And then on top of that, because everything has to go through a port, right? So a lot of our items just stay in one area where it could be condensed into a shipping container before it can ship here.
And then we find some scratches or some damages
right.
on the furniture, then we have to ship it back again. So it's sometimes I even kind of let some scratches or some damage go if it's repairable. Because
Yeah.
it's just hard to get those
Right.
furnitures.
It's like, are you willing to wait another 8 months for that specific thing to come in? So it's, you have to weigh out the pro and cons, Not only shipment too, but when I was trying to buy some stuff for the house, right? I realized there's no Hobby Lobby here. There's no Michael's here. So I was asking some of the moms, where do you buy your decoration from? And they just say Target, And yes, Target has great selection, but if you ever been to a Michael or Hobby Lobby, the selection are endless there. So that was a con for me. And then food too. Chick-fil-A is starting to come here, but when we first moved here, I said, hey kids, what do you want for breakfast? And then one day Ryan was like, Chick-fil-A. And then I realized there is no Chick-fil-A.
You know what everybody craves in Hawaii? Krispy Kreme donuts.
Yes.
So there is a Krispy Kreme in Maui. So a lot of times when people fly to Maui, people just buy it to go and bring back all the way to Oahu.
Is
for
it
their
Maui or
friends.
the Big Island? I heard the Big Island, but I didn't know there was
Okay,
one in
never mind.
Maui.
Maybe Big Island. The point is that it's outside of Oahu.
Yeah.
Even though we have great donuts here
Right,
in
yeah.
Oahu, I'm just surprised people want Krispy Kreme donuts. I guess when you don't have it, you
True.
want it, right?
True, yeah.
Also, services too, right? When something goes wrong in the house, like the AC broke down or, maybe internet's not working, it takes long time to get to the vendors and have them come over to the house and fix it.
Right.
And for the AC, it took us a few months for them to fix it. Versus when in Houston, they consider having AC issue is like an emergency,
Oh,
right?
yes,
Right?
definitely.
They come like same day or but at the latest next day.
Yeah. We even have limited resources when it comes to healthcare too. If you're somebody who needs like an emergency surgery or something, you might not have the resources here for that. That's
Right,
also
and the wait on the doctor's
Oh, yes.
office and dentist too. We have to make an appointment like 2-3 months ahead of the time. 'Cause
Right,
it's
yeah.
all booked up.
Yeah.
I think we were spoiled in Houston because
Yeah.
Houston is one of the biggest kind of medical kind of center in Texas or in the nation. So
Yeah.
that's also another reason too. All right, the final one.
So I would say just being away from family.
Right. So Luann's family lives in Houston. My parents live in Austin. So kind of we miss them,
Yeah. I mean, I do have a cousin here that just moved the same timing as us. But yes, we're very fortunate where we're able to go back and forth to Houston all the time, right? When we went during spring break. We went during Thanksgiving. We went during Christmas, you know? So it's not that big of an issue. And plus, our moms, right, would take turn coming here. So every time my mom, we've been here for a year, right? And I would say my mom had been to Hawaii at least 4 to 5 times. And every time she's here, she stay for a whole month, which again, I really appreciate. I love my mom, but no, but
Oh, you want to phrase it?
no.
You want to phrase it in a
And
specific
the
way?
kids love it. The kids love it. I just have never spent so much time with my mom before.
But we appreciate they come
Yes,
here,
of
and
course.
actually everybody, all our families love coming to Hawaii
Yeah.
because it's great here, right, for a short-term visit. So her sisters come and visit us
They're
too.
be coming soon in August.
Again?
Yeah.
Okay.
They came already last year before my sister gave birth to Kobe. She felt like Kobe is, turning 1 soon, so she thought it's a great time to bring Kobe back in August.
Again. Oh,
Yeah.
Okay. And my best friend too. My best
Oh,
friend
yes.
lives in Houston too.
Yeah.
But he's getting married this year, and for the bachelor party, he's coming to Hawaii.
I know, out of all the places, I was like, you don't want to go to Colorado or New York or something? And it's his bachelor, so he can go wherever, but he chose Hawaii.
Yeah, it's perfect
So-
because I was I live here, so
Yes, we are away from our family, but I have seen my family more since we moved to Hawaii, ironically, than I have ever seen them when I was in Houston. So, yay! I love you guys. I love you guys if you guys are
they're
watching.
like, hey, okay, I'm not gonna invite you anymore on the
No,
holiday.
no. With all that said, Ray, just take it all in.
Yeah.
Just take a deep breath. Now it's the moment where, we should talk about it and you guys been waiting for. What are we going to do? We experienced Hawaii life for a year, Are we planning to stay here or are we planning to move our family back to Houston?
We just passed the first year. If you want to go back to Houston, we still could.
Right.
So our decision is stay in Hawaii.
Woohoo! But yes, we decided to stay in Hawaii at least until the kids graduate high school.
Yeah, I don't want to change anything. For now, don't attack me when I later on change my mind and then we move back.
Right,
Things
well,
changes, so.
Yeah, you never know, if my family needs help back there, and then I would move in an instant for them, And then, you have to find a place that I think just resonate with you and your family. Right now, that place for us is Hawaii.
Even though we just moved, we
Yeah,
felt
yeah.
like already home a little bit because of all these things that we love about Hawaii. Same thing, PewDiePie recently moved to Japan. Even though he wasn't born in Japan, he didn't grow up in Japan,
Right.
but he's loving it there, so.
We always wanted the second option for us before was move to Japan. So
So what he's doing is exactly how I envisioned how we're gonna be.
yeah. So
If we didn't have COVID,
right.
we would have moved to Japan.
Yeah.
We love Hawaii anyway,
We
so I'm
love-
glad that kind of we decided to make that decision. But
Right.
just watching his videos, that could have been us.
Well, congratulate to him because he's living his dream. So yeah.
He's buffed up too. Have you seen his body recently? Whew. Looks like a boxer or wrestler.
Okay, so before we end our video, we have to do obviously the
Tricky word of the day.
because we live on an island, we thought the word should be
Island.
island life. All right, so I'll let Shion goes first.
The island in
Yeah.
Japanese is shima.
Shima.
Uh-huh.
Shima. Okay. So how do you say island in Vietnamese? I don't know why I did that. I'm so sorry.
Okay.
It is Dao.
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 Dao also means it hurts, right?
Well, the thing about Vietnamese words, right, is that it's the way you say it, right? Are you going up? Are you going down? Are you just saying in monotone? It changes the word completely. Like if you're hurt, you say Dao.
Dao.
But if you say the word island, you say Dao, So
Dao?
it's just, yeah.
So
it's kind
if
of,
you talk about island hurts, how do you in Vietnamese?
why would you say island hurt? Okay. Anyway, so you would say Dao.
Okay. That's not confusing at all.
But anyways, that is our update on Hawaii life. You know, if you enjoyed this video, give us a big thumbs up and let us know your thoughts and feelings about Hawaii. I forgot to mention this one con that I think people should realize is, yes, we say our climate is very stable here, right? You're able to enjoy the activities all year round. But, you know, if you're the type of person who really enjoy 4 seasons, right? If you really like Christmas in December when it's cold outside, you really like building a snowman, go skiing, you know, and you really enjoy seeing the leaves fall down, you won't find it here.
Yeah, I cannot do that in Houston either, but.
Right, yeah. But in case you're watching this and you're like, oh, maybe I should move to Hawaii too, or thinking about it, you know, just also keep that in mind, you know?
Yeah, I mean, leave some comments below because, you know, through our videos, you guys have seen our life in Hawaii too. So I'm sure you guys have some thoughts about life in Hawaii. So, yeah, let us know what you guys thought watching our video and see how Hawaii life is.
Yeah. Any questions, concern, you know, places we should try and go, let us know. Okay, for now, thank you for watching, Stickies. Have a fantastic day.
Bye.
Bye. Aloha.